Anna was 27, and that night was supposed to be hers. She had just finished her MBA at Stanford, something she had worked for in quiet, tired years. She wore a deep blue dress and walked into a small Italian restaurant in Palo Alto. The lights were warm, the glasses shone, and the room smelled like butter and roasted garlic. She had picked that place herself because it felt calm, not showy. She wanted a night where people said, "Anna, we see you." Her friends from school were already there. They hugged her, gave her flowers, and said, "You did it." For a moment, her chest felt light. Then she looked at the door, waiting for her parents. She told herself, "They'll come. They'll smile. Tonight they will be proud." The guests started talking, laughing, taking pictures. One of Anna's classmates, Mark, said, "Your parents must be so proud. Stanford isn't easy." Anna smiled and said, "I hope so." But inside, she knew her family wasn't like that. She had spent a whole week planning this dinner, calling the restaurant, checking the menu, making sure there was something for everyone. She even wrote small thank you notes for each person because she liked details. That was her way of loving people. To anyone else, Anna looked like a woman celebrating success. But the real story had started 5 years earlier. Back then, she had taken a job as a junior financial consultant in San Francisco. The pay wasn't huge, but she was glad because her family needed money. Her parents always said things like, "Bills are too high," and "Insurance in this country is crazy." So Anna started sending money home. First a little, then more, then it became automatic. Every month, almost 2/3 of her salary left her account: mortgage, electricity, water, internet, insurance. She didn't complain. She thought, "I'm the oldest. This is what I'm supposed to do." Anna had a younger sister named Lily. Lily was the sunshine of the family. Pretty, social, always dressed up, always the one her parents talked about. Lily went to study law, and Anna was the one who paid for most of it. When the tuition was due, her mother would call and say, "Anna, send the money today. Lily can't be late. Her future is important." There was never a thank you. There was never, "How are you doing? Are you tired?" It was always, "Send it." Meanwhile, Anna stayed late at the office, staring at an Excel sheet at 11 p.m., eating cold takeout, telling herself, "One day they will see me." What hurt her the most was not the money. It was the way she was unseen. She remembered one night clearly. She had come home from work exhausted, her eyes heavy. Her father sat in the living room reading the paper. Without looking up, he said, "I don't know why you chose this numbers job. Being a lawyer like Lily is better. Or a doctor. Something real." Anna just stood there with her bag still on her shoulder. She wanted to say, "Dad, I'm the one paying for all of this." But she stayed quiet, because in that house, her work was never enough. She thought, maybe if I study more, maybe if I get an MBA from Stanford, they will finally be proud. But even before the dinner, there were signs. On her 25th birthday, nobody in the house remembered. Her mother was busy making snacks, not for her, but for Lily, who was studying for exams. Her father was talking about how smart Lily was. Anna went to her room, ate a cookie she brought home from work, and whispered, "Happy birthday to me." A month later, when it was Lily's birthday, there was a big party, lights in the yard, music, more than 50 people. Anna stood at the back holding a glass of water and looked at the decorations she had paid for. Nobody said, "Thank you, Anna." Nobody even introduced her properly. That night she told herself, "I'm just the wallet." So when she sent the message in the family group chat, "I booked a dinner to celebrate my MBA. I hope you can come. It means a lot to me." She waited for a sweet reply. Instead her mother wrote, "No need to make a fuss. A degree is not that big." Anna read it 3 times. Her throat burned, but she still went ahead with the plan. She went to the florist to get sunflowers and tulips because they made her happy. She bought the blue dress. She wrote the notes. She thought, even if they don't clap for me, I will clap for myself. The night of the dinner, everything was perfect. Soft piano, warm lights, friends smiling, glasses clinking. Her classmates said things like, "Anna, you worked so hard," and "You are always so focused." She felt seen for the first time in a long time. Then, at around 8 p.m., her parents walked in. Her father in a dark suit, her mother in a black dress, both with serious faces, no flowers and no smile. Anna's heart dropped a little. Her mother's eyes swept the room like she was checking who was important. Anna walked up to them, smiling. "I'm glad you came," she said. Her mother gave a small nod. Her father sat and said to the waiter, "Red wine." "No, you look beautiful." "No, we're proud." Anna went back to her friends and tried to keep the night light. But while she talked, she could hear her parents' voices at the table. Her parents were not talking about her at all. They were talking about Lily. "She just got into a good law firm," her mother said loudly. "The partners know her name already," her father added. "Her salary will grow fast." They said it like a performance, making sure everyone could hear. Some of Anna's friends looked at her with soft eyes, like they wanted to say, "I'm sorry." Anna lifted her glass and made a toast anyway. "Thank you for coming to celebrate me," she said. Her voice was steady. Her parents did not clap. They didn't even smile. They just watched her like she was doing something unnecessary. A little later, one of Anna's senior colleagues came over to her parents' table. He was kind and older, and he said warmly, "You must be very proud of Anna. An MBA from Stanford, that's a big achievement." Anna waited. This was the moment. This was the simple sentence she had wanted to hear her whole life. But her father gave a small laugh and said, "Anna is okay, but she hasn't really done much for this family. Not like Lily. Lily is the real success." The room went quiet, like someone pressed pause. Anna felt something snap inside her. 5 years of sending money. 5 years of silence. 5 years of being invisible. She walked back to the table, her face calm but her eyes sharp. "Dad," she said slowly, "that's not true." Her father's face turned red. He slammed his hand on the table so the forks shook and said loudly, for everyone to hear, "Paying the bills doesn't make you family." For a second, nobody moved. People at the other tables pretended to look at their plates, but their ears were there. Anna didn't shout. She didn't cry. She just tilted her head and looked straight at her father. "So paying the bills doesn't make me family?" she asked, her voice low but clear. Her mother hissed, "Anna, don't start here." Lily folded her arms and smirked like she'd been waiting for this. Anna turned her eyes to Lily. "Then let her pay for it," she said. Every word was slow, like a door closing. A couple of her classmates gasped. Her father's eyes burned. "Get out," he snapped. "If you're going to embarrass us, get out right now." Anna stared at him. "You threw me out on the night I invited you to celebrate me," she said softly. "Remember this moment." Then she picked up her purse and straightened her shoulders. No tears. No begging. The whole restaurant watched as the woman who had paid for everything was sent away by the people who never thanked her. Outside, the Palo Alto air was cool. Anna stood on the sidewalk for a moment, breathing. Behind her, she could still hear the soft piano and the clinking of glasses, like the celebration was trying to continue without her. Then the door opened and her friend Clara rushed out. "Anna," she said, grabbing her arm. "Are you okay?" Another colleague followed, eyes wide. "We heard what he said," he told her. "No parent should say that." Anna gave them a small smile. "I'm okay," she said, though her chest felt like a stone. "I just finally heard the truth." Clara's eyes shone with anger. "They never deserved you," she said. "You've been carrying them for years." Anna nodded. "Not anymore." She hugged them both, told them to go back in so they wouldn't miss the food, and then she walked away down the lit street in her blue dress, heels clicking like a promise. When she got home, her apartment was quiet, warm, hers. No one shouting. No one asking for money. She put her bag down, took off her shoes, and sat at her desk. The anger had cooled into something sharper, clarity. She opened her laptop and logged into her bank account. Line after line showed up, mortgage transfer to parents' house. Utility payment. Water. Gas. Internet. Health insurance for family. Tuition for Lily. Anna stared at it and almost laughed. "I really was the bank," she whispered. Then she began. Click. Cancel. Click. Remove card. Click. Stop autopay. Each time she confirmed it, she felt lighter. She sent an email to the insurance company. "From today, I will no longer be responsible for this payment. Please contact the policyholder." She removed her card from Lily's school portal. She blocked the secondary card her parents used. When she was done, only her own rent and her own bills were left. She leaned back and exhaled. "If I'm not family," she said to the empty room, "then I won't pay like family." The next morning, sunlight came in like any normal day. Anna made coffee and toasted bread. For the first time in years, she didn't have that tight feeling of, did the payment go through? Then her phone started buzzing. First it was a text from her mother. Anna, the mortgage bounced. Why? Then another, the electricity people emailed your father. They said payment failed. What's going on? A minute later, insurance cancelled. Your father is angry. Fix this now. Anna took a sip of coffee. She didn't reply. Her mother called. Then her father called. Then Lily called. Anna watched their names appear and disappear on the screen. They had never called this much just to ask, "How are you?" Now that the money stopped, they suddenly remembered her number. By mid-morning, the messages got harsher. Her father wrote, "You are being childish. Turn the payments back on." Her mother wrote, "Neighbors will hear we missed payments. Do you want us to lose face?" Lily sent a long voice note. When Anna finally played it, Lily's voice was high and angry. "So you're going to ruin everything because Dad said one thing. You know they depend on you. You know they can't afford this. You made them used to this lifestyle. You can't just stop." Anna paused the message and shook her head. Nobody said, "We're sorry." Nobody said, "We were wrong last night." It was only, "Pay again." She put the phone face down and opened her laptop instead. Around noon, Lily did something worse. She went on Facebook and wrote a long, dramatic post. "My sister stopped supporting our parents because of a small argument. Now they might lose the house. I don't understand how someone can be so selfish." At first, people commented things like, "That's so sad," and "Family should stick together." But then people who had been at the dinner saw it. One of Anna's classmates wrote, "I was there. Your dad said, paying the bills doesn't make you family. If someone said that to me, I'd stop paying too." A co-worker of Anna's added, "Your sister has been paying more than $30,000 a year for you all. Don't call her selfish." The comments started to shift. Lily stopped replying. By afternoon, the real chaos hit the house. Anna's mother texted frantically. "Water company sent a shut-off notice. They said 48 hours. Your father is shouting. Call me now." Anna could almost picture it. The big house that always looked perfect on the outside suddenly cracking on the inside. No automatic payment meant no quiet cover-up. All the bills she had carried alone were now standing at their door. Anna took another slow sip of coffee. Let them see, she thought. Let them finally see who was keeping everything together. Later that day, Anna got a call from Mrs. Green, the older neighbor who lived next to her parents. "Anna, dear, are you okay?" the woman asked softly. "Your parents' house is a mess today. Your father was yelling at the men from the water company. Someone called the police because they thought it was a fight." Anna closed her eyes. "The police?" "Yes," Mrs. Green said. "Your father was shouting in the yard about payments and bills. The officers came and tried to calm him down. Everyone on the street heard. People are saying, so it was Anna all these years paying for them." "I'm sorry, dear. I just wanted you to know." Anna thanked her. When she hung up, she sat very still. For years she had paid to keep them from being embarrassed. Now that she stopped, the truth was loud. That evening, the messages changed tone. Her mother wrote, "Anna, think of your father's health. He's very upset. Do you want him to end up in the hospital?" Her father sent, "You are ungrateful. We raised you. You owe us." Lily sent another voice note, this time crying, "You made us look stupid in front of the neighbors. You could have talked to us. Why punish everyone?" Anna listened to all of it in silence. None of them said, "We were wrong to shame you in front of your friends." None of them said, "We hurt you." They were only hurting because the money stopped. Anna finally typed one message to the family group. "Dad said paying the bills doesn't make me family. I am only doing what he said." After she sent it, the group went quiet. Maybe they didn't know what to answer. Maybe they finally heard their own words. Anna stood by her window that night, looking over the city lights, holding a glass of wine she bought with her own money, for her own peace. For the first time in years, she didn't feel like someone's wallet. She felt like a person. She thought about how easy it had been for them to throw her out of her own graduation dinner, how quickly they had chosen pride over gratitude. And she understood something clear as daylight. Love without respect is just use. They had used her because she allowed it. Now she wasn't allowing it anymore. Tomorrow, she knew, they might try something bigger, show up at her office, call her boss, make a scene. But she was ready. because a line had been drawn, and this time Anna wasn't going to step back over it. The next Monday, Anna went to work thinking the storm would stay online and at her parents' house. She wore a gray suit, tied her hair back, and walked into the glass building in San Francisco like any other day. But not even 10 minutes later, the receptionist called her. "Anna, your parents are here." Anna froze for half a second, then walked to the lobby. There they were, her father, Mr. Brown, face red, and her mother, Mrs. Brown, eyes puffy like she'd been crying. People were staring. A few co-workers had stopped on their way to meetings. Her father pointed at her the moment he saw her. "You ruined us, Anna," he shouted. "The bank called. The water was cut. The neighbors are laughing. Are you happy now?" Anna kept her voice calm. "I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped paying." Her mother clung to his arm. "Anna, please, just turn it back on. People are talking. We can't live like this." Anna looked around at her colleagues watching, then back at her parents. "You came to my workplace to shout," she said slowly. "But at my dinner, you couldn't say one kind word." Her father snapped. "We are your parents. You owe us." Anna straightened. "No," she said. "I don't owe anyone disrespect." Then she turned to security. "Please show them out. This is a workplace." The guards were polite, but firm. As they were led toward the door, her father tried to pull away, but her mother whispered, "Let's go." The whole office went silent. Anna didn't cry. She just walked back to her desk, shoulders high. After they left, a few co-workers came to her. One said quietly, "I heard what he said. You handled that well." Her manager knocked on her desk later. "Family stuff?" he asked gently. Anna nodded. "I'm setting boundaries," she said. He gave a small smile. "Good. People who can do that usually lead well." That sentence surprised her. For years she'd thought her silence was her strength. But now someone was telling her that saying no was strength too. That evening, her mother sent a long email. It swung from anger to begging. "We raised you. We sacrificed. Your father is sick with worry. Do you want us to lose the house?" At the end it said, "If you loved us, you would pay." Anna read it carefully, then replied with one short message. "If you respected me, you would not have said paying the bills doesn't make you family. I will only speak to you if it is respectful. No more money." She hit send and closed the laptop. She felt sad, of course she did. No one dreams of pushing away their own parents. But she also felt something else, safe. For the first time, they could not just reach into her account. They had to face their own bills, their own words. In the weeks that followed, news reached her through neighbors and distant relatives. The big house her parents loved so much was put up for a fast sale. They couldn't keep up with the mortgage now that Anna had cut off the support. The expensive car was taken back. Her mother had to sell jewelry she had always said would go to Lily. People in their old neighborhood whispered, so it was Anna paying for everything. Her father, who used to brag, now stayed inside more. Lily didn't do well either. Without Anna paying her way, she had to face real life. She was late at work, missed deadlines, and finally lost her job at the law firm. She came back home angry and embarrassed. "This is your fault," she texted Anna once more. Anna didn't reply. She didn't hate them. She just refused to return to the role of invisible provider. At the same time, Anna's own life started moving forward. At work, people trusted her more because they had seen her stay calm in a messy, personal situation. She was picked to join a big project in New York. When the offer letter came, she stared at it for a long time. Years ago, she would have asked, "Can I afford to move if I'm still paying for my parents?" Now the answer was simple. Yes. Because she was finally paying just for herself. A year later, Anna was living in a small but bright apartment in New York, with tall windows and a view of the park. She invited friends over, Clara from business school, 2 colleagues from the consulting firm, and Mr. Harris, the older professor who had once told her she had strong character. They brought flowers and wine and real joy. As they sat around her table covered in a white cloth, Clara laughed and said, "I still remember that night in Palo Alto. You walking out in that blue dress. I thought, this girl is done being used." Mr. Harris nodded. "Sometimes," he said, "family is the people who clap for you." Anna smiled. Exactly. She looked around the room and realized something beautiful. These people were happy for her without taking from her. Nobody was asking for her bank card. Nobody was comparing her to Lily. Nobody was telling her to be smaller. They were just there, choosing her. That night, she raised her glass. "Thank you," she said, "for seeing me." They all clinked glasses and cheered. In that moment, she knew blood can be important, but chosen people can be kinder. Not long before Christmas, a letter came from her parents. The handwriting was shaky. "We know we said hurtful things," it read. "We were angry, but you should not have cut us off like that. Come home for Christmas. We are still your family." Anna read it slowly. The old ache was still there. Little Anna, who once ate a cookie alone on her birthday, still wanted to be hugged. But grown Anna had learned something bigger. Love without respect turns into chains. So she wrote back, "When there is a real apology for what was said and for how I was treated, I will consider meeting. Until then, I wish you well." Then she closed the email. That evening, snow fell over New York. Inside, her apartment was warm, full of laughter and people who celebrated her. Anna stood by the window with her glass of wine and thought of the girl who walked out of the restaurant that night. That girl was hurting. This woman was healing. She whispered to herself, "Family is not the people who use you. Family is the people who choose you." And to anyone listening to her story, anyone who ever felt invisible in their own house, she would say, "You are not alone, and you are allowed to stop paying for love that never saw you." That was how Anna's story ended. Not with begging to be accepted, but with peace, boundaries, and a table full of real love.